All right, we are back again. Has anyone been able to do it? Hello, has anyone been able to do it? Okay, so what we would do is that the assignment was that we are supposed to style our, good. I understand if you are unable to do it. So we're supposed to style our anchor tags here so that they will look black, right? So what we do is that we need to be specific. Where is it? It is, so we are being specific. Where is it located? It is in the section, okay, then space. It is, the UL is in the section, then LI, all right, then A. Then I can say color black. So this is selector specificity. As if you hover right, you will see that the VS Code would inform you. It is what selector what specificity. So what is going on here is that the section is the major container. And within the section, there is what? A UL, an unordered list. And then within the unordered list, there is also what? A list, followed by what? An anchor tag. And you can see just here, a UL, which sits inside the section, followed by what? An LI, followed by what? An anchor tag. Do we follow? Now, if we go and we check our web page, you will see that it has turned into what? Into black. Are we good? Are we good? Please, if we are good, give me a thumbs up. Good. All right. So now one thing too is that we would love to change the, we would like to also style the list a bit. I can see some hands are raised. Ruben.
Sir, please, can you go over?
Okay, let me do that again. All right, so all I did was that, remember, we said we need to be specific. And in being specific, we look out for what? Where is our A located? It is located where? Inside a list. A list is an element that can contain other elements. Now, this list, where is it also located? It is also located in an ordered list. And this unordered list, this whole thing, where is it located? It is located inside what? A section. So for us to be very specific, now, the question we ask ourselves is that why do we have to be specific? We want to be specific because there could also be this same thing just down here. And so if you are not careful, your styling could affect all the various elements that look similar to this, unless that is the effect you want to achieve. But if that is not the effect you want to achieve, then you need to be very, very specific. And I'll be showing you tricks in ways we can make it less specific. It can be easy for us. Okay, so just bear with me. We are now learning the basics. But this is descendant selectors. That's what we are doing now. So in doing that, I come here and then I say section UL. So remember, the space is the space indicates that this UL is a descendant of the section. This LI is a descendant of what? The UL. This anchor tag is a descendant of the LI. And so I put the color black, and that is what we see. Are we good now? Ruben, is it okay? If it's okay, give me thumbs up.
Yes, it's okay.
Good. All right, now let's add some more styles to our list over here. Now, every list, okay, every list, so sometimes I like to organize my code this way. So now we are going to what? Style the UL itself, the main container. And the main container, we can have list style type equal to circle. Let's just look at how it looks like, and then we'll come back. You see that now the dots have changed. The dots have changed to what? To round circles. Okay. We could also say list style and then just write none, which we normally do when we are building website. And you will see that it removes the dots or anything about it. Now I want us to remove the underline and the underlines under the text. So what do? I'll come here and say section, because the lines is rather under the list itself, the list of items. So UL, in fact, wait, sorry. So here, it is here, it's affecting the link itself. So we can come here and do text / decoration. There is a property known as text decoration, and you put none. Now, but just by doing this, when you come here, you would have removed everything underneath it. If you want to learn more on this, remember W3 Schools, CSS, you can say CSS, and you would see all the styles that you know. This is just so you can see margin. We just looked at it. We can see, so the box model is well explained here. There is also lists is here. There is link, there are links, and we are going to try and build links that look like this. Okay, we'll look at how. Remember I said that each element on the page is what? Takes what structure? Each element on the page takes what structure? If you know the answer, put it in the chat. Each element on the page. Good. A box. Good. A box. So when we come here, what we can do is that we can say, okay, since it's a box, then we can say, we can even give it a background. Now, the background color, you can also shorten it and make it background. It will also work. And I can say background, maybe background, I'll make it black. And the text, I'll make it white. Okay. Then I will make a padding of 10 pixels. Now, observe something here. Here, I'm not writing padding top, padding. I could do that. I could just do padding top. I could come here, padding bottom 10, padding left 10, like this. And then when we go back to look at it, you see, they are all smashing up. So we need to bring in some margins. So watch, and then I can do margin bottom 10, margin top 10 pixels, margin. Okay, so let's just leave it as that. We don't need the left and right. We just need the top and the bottom. Now, by doing that, if we go back again, oops, okay, so we are not getting the splitting up. Now, the reason why they are not splitting up as we would have expected is because, remember yesterday we talked about inline element and what? Block level element. And the anchor tags are what? Block and inline level elements. So we need to do something about it so that they are all what? Block level elements on their own. And we can change the property of an HTML element from an inline to a block level element by bringing in display block. This very code ensures that now the anchor tag would not behave like what? Like an inline element, okay? So if you look at it now, we have blocks. Are you seeing it? Let me go over again. We have this, a display, which is block. If I remove this display block, and then I go back to it, everything was smashed up together because they are what? It is what? It is an inline level element. That is the link. Now, if I apply display block, Then now each one will be one block on its own line. If you understand this, please give me thumbs up. Great. Welcome, Ellis. Welcome. All right. So we can go back again. And apart from block, we can do what we call inline block. Inline block. Now it means that each is a block, even though it's an inline element, is a block. It's not taking the full width, but it takes it as a block. You can use this style in a particular kind of website you want to build. All right, now all these tools you are getting is supposed to help you to use it freely in any way you want to do it. No one should tell you, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. No, you can do it. So long as it can be displayed, you can do it. All right, so feel free to be as creative as you want to be. Okay, now there is one thing we've also not touched on. That is, so let me shift back to the block. Okay. The block, the block takes the size of the width. So if I say width and I say 50 pixels, right? Now I come back, you see that, you can see it there. Now each of them is having what? A block size of what? 50 pixels. So that is so the block takes the size of the width of that element. Does it make sense now? Elvis, is it clear? Okay, so I could, let me rather make it 120, okay? Please, if your link color hasn't changed, check the spellings. Check the spellings. The problem most of the time, think of it this way. What mistake would I have done? That is why I'm seeing this. If you look at it coming from your angle, you are able to resolve it. If you think that is a machine that is the problem, you begin to worry. Are you getting it? Good. Because all the time you should be in control of your code. You should understand why your code is behaving the way it is behaving. All right. So we could make it 120, and this is what we get. Very nice. I could also say, now one thing I've not told you is that the margins, I could say margin, and I can say margin left, and I can put 0. You can even put a negative value there. So I can say margin left 0. You see, nothing necessarily may have changed. But if I do margin left and I say minus 20 pixels, you see that it shifted a bit. I can do it again and make it like 40. And let's see what we are going to get. You see it? It has shifted to the left. Ruben, are you okay now? Now let me be sharing this code on GitHub so that just in case people would like to have access to it, it becomes a bit easy. Okay. Right. Okay. All right. So it's published on GitHub. You can have access to it at any time. So all the things we are doing, you can have access to them in real time. Ruben, let's see your, if you say you are having a challenge, let's see your code. All right, let's see your code. So I'm going to stop sharing so that we can. So please share your screen and let's see. But what color is Azure? Is it red? Or you change the color and let me see. All right, that's fine. Pick any color from the color palette. All right, pick the pink, pick it. Any color, yeah, it's fine. Good, it's okay. All right. Now, Okay, let's go to your HTML. Okay. Now, so you see that there is a problem here. Look at what you've written. You open the UL and you closed it, and your LI is in a different place. So what you are selecting, you are not selecting, you get it. So copy your LIs, copy everything, and paste it in between the UL. That was a mistake you did. Cut it and paste it in between. Now save and check your screen. All right, okay. Okay, so we just did this, and now we are now at this side. Please, if you are okay, give me thumbs up. If you are okay, give me thumbs up. Thumbs up, please, if you are okay. All right, good. Now, what we do next is this. We would like to add some more style. We need to learn more about our styling. We can also do something called border radius. And border radius, if you say border radius, you can say border first of all.
Hello, Ralph.
Yes.
Yes. My coloring. I want to share my screen so that I look at what's happening
So
here.
share your screen and let's
sorry for
share your screen and let's see.
Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Can you see the screen?
We can only see your the top part of your browser. We can't see anything. We see only black colors.
Oh, wow. Okay. What is happening is that the coloring, after working on the style, I don't know whether there's a mistake somewhere. I'm not seeing the changes.
Let me see your code. Let me see your code itself.
Uh-huh.
Unless I see the code, I can't
Yes.
know exactly the problem.
Can you see the code?
Oh, yeah, the screen is not sharing. Okay, good.
Uh-huh.
All right, now let's see your style sheet, your style.css.
This.
Okay, so yeah, you see there is a problem. You are not ending it with the semicolon.
Okay.
Yes, the semicolons are not there. Please, every little thing is important. So if you leave it, you will cause your own trouble.
No, semicolon where?
See, section ULLIA here, color, black, colon. You have to add a semicolon.
Okay. But I'm not seeing the background. The background color, I'm not seeing it.
Which
You have given
color?
the body. I mean the body, the purple.
Yes.
The purple, I'm not seeing it on my distance.
Please correct the errors first. Correct the errors first before we remove the text decoration from there because it's not complete.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Please remove it. Okay, and save your file. Okay, and then let's go and check your. Okay, it's auto save already. So let's go and check.
Yes, auto save.
Let's go and check your web page.
I'm not seeing the.
We are not seeing.
Look at it. Yeah, that's what I'm. Can you see it?
Okay.
I'm not seeing the effect.
All right, good. Let's go back to your code. Let's go back to your code.
Okay, so I'm stopping and sharing the code.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so please scroll up a bit. Yeah, but wait. The way you are writing the codes is why we are having a lot of problem. Now there is nothing like margin
Okay.
colon top. No, it's margin hyphen top, margin hyphen left, then colon, margin
Okay.
hyphen right, then colon.
Okay.
Yes, your code needs to be right.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'll correct them.
So please correct them. Make sure that your. So what I'm doing right now is this. Let me share my screen so that I'll alert you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, let's come here. So right now, every work I'm doing, I'm publishing it directly online. Are you getting me? So you can actually go to my GitHub page, which is supposed to be. Yeah, so you can go to my GitHub page and you would see the live feeds of everything we are doing there. Okay. So let me come here. You can go to github.com repository. This is what we are doing right now. 8 minutes ago, I just updated it. So if you are finding, but please, when you come here, try and start the GitHub page if you already have an account. If you don't have an account, just create one. And we'll talk about that in another class. So you can click on the style and you can see everything that we are writing is just here. Everything that we are writing is just here. All right. So I will put the link inside our chats and anyone can have access to it. Okay. Good. So you can just have an access to the link. It's in the chat now. So if you are doing something and you realize you are lost, just come to or click on the link, check either the HTML or the style sheet itself, and then you can copy it or you can look at the code and see whether it matches your own. All right. Good. Okay. So now as I was saying, I was introducing you to another one called, which is called the border radius. And with the border radius, you see every box or square has what? 4 corners, right? Every box or square has 4 corners. So we can have border top right, top left radius, and I can make it, let's say, 10 pixels. Now let's go back and see what we have done. Do you see that now we have curved the top left of it? If you've been able to do it, please thumbs up. If you've been able to do it, please thumbs up. If you're having challenges, just let me know. Thumbs up, thumbs up. So all I did was border top left radius. So it's like going anti-clockwise, right? You can also have border top right radius, and I can give it 10 pixels. So once I come in here, you see it, I'm building something. All right, I'm building something. Then I can do border bottom left radius and border bottom right radius. And that would give me a curved shaped. And it looks like a button, doesn't it? It looks like a button. It looks like a button. Are we good? It's only Coyote, Abigail, Patricia, Ruben, Ellis. Are we lost or we are good? Very good, very good. Now let's make it nicer a little bit. Let's make it nicer a little bit. We could make this maybe purple, and then we can add a border, right? A border around it. Now, you see, in the beginning, I showed you that when we are writing border, we say border width, border color, border style, right? We can copy this whole thing, right? We can copy this whole thing and paste it there. However, there's a shortcut for it. So now I'm introducing you to some of the shortcuts. You can just write border and you do maybe, let's say 5 pixels, which is the width, follow, and it must be in this very order. This one, the order matters. Sorry. It must be in this order. So as I was saying, instead of doing border width, border color, border style, we can do everything in one line, whereby the width is the first parameter, followed by solid, that is the style of the border. Then I could say, okay, yellow is the color of the border. And by doing this, if you go and check you will see that now you have what? Some kind of borders around your links. And mind you, please, this is a link. This is a link. These are all links. But now they don't look like links, do they? Abigail, are you okay? So now, instead of writing border width, which is 5 pixels, okay, and then border color, maybe yellow, okay, and border style, which is solid, I've put everything together in this very line. Is it not good that now we don't need to be writing too plenty? We can do it in a shortcut. Are we good? Are we good? Yeah, please, Elvis, ask your question.
I was asking if we can do the same as in the curve to the main margin.
Exactly. We can get to the shortcut too for the margin, all of them. I'm just taking things one at a time. So with the margin two, we go clockwise. We go what? Clockwise. So that will be like this, margin. And then you would say, so we start from the top. So the top, I want it to be 10 pixels. Now, what about what? The right. The right, I want it to be 0 pixels, right? Then what about the bottom, which will be what? 10 pixels, followed by what? The left, which is what? negative 10 pixels. And by doing that, I have also achieved the same thing here. I've achieved the same thing here. And if you go back, we are back. Okay. So if I come back and I check, okay, so the left was 40, negative 40, good. So when you come back, you see it. We have the same thing here. Do we all understand it? We can also use another shortcut for the border radius. So instead of this, I could say border radius. And now if the entire body of that element is going to have the same parameter, you can just put 10 pixels, simple as that. Okay, when I'm done, I'll make some small notes for you so that you can serve as a reminder. Okay, so if you go back, 10 pixels is still the same. Are we good? Are we good? All right, all right. Very good. Then the pattern, the same thing too applies to the pattern. I could say this, and remember, it is in clockwise. Now, when you do it for 2 like this, it means that here we are talking about what? We are talking about, so this is how it goes, top, right, bottom, left. So that would be 10 pixels, 10 pixels, something like this. If we wanted top, if the top and the bottom are having the same thing, it will rather be what? So pardon, so let me just make notes. So we can say pardon, sorry, say pardon, and then we would say 10 pixels, 20 pixels. Now this means that we are dealing with what? Top. So it's like this, top, bottom, and left, right. Okay, top, bottom, left, right. Now your assignment is to check when we have 10 pixels. What do you think is going to be? Let's just look at it, sorry. Let's just look at this. Just a second. Good. So let me just put this as the, okay. So look at this, 10 at the top, 10 at the bottom, and we are dealing with a section. So when you come back to it, you may have to check how it is affecting it. So it is 10 at the top, okay, 10 at the bottom, and then the third one would take the sides. Okay, 10 bottom like that, it takes the sides. So these are shortcuts, and the same thing applies to margin, among others. Okay, the same thing applies to margin and the others. Okay, so as you use it, you get conversant with the one you want best. And sometimes this might be the easiest way to go by. Sometimes this might be confusing. Sometimes you would like to be very, very explicit and state what you want it to be. Okay. Okay. Now, so we've done some designing. Let's put our body. So one thing we can do, sometimes you will see a lot in a lot of people's code, is that with the body, we could have something like margin, and then we say the top and bottom should be 0, but the left and the right should be automatically calculated by the browser. Margin 0, top, bottom, but then the left side and right side should be automatically calculated by the browser. Okay, and now you might not see anything. Now let's add a width. This is where the trick will come in. So if we say the width is, let's say, 600 pixels, and you check, now you have centered your application or your website in the middle of the screen. All we did was that we gave a margin of auto 0 at the top, 0 at the bottom. So here we want the browser itself, because there could be multiple devices, we want the browser itself to calculate, all right, calculate the left side equally, the left side and the right side equally, and it does it. But you would not see anything unless you add what? The width. Because it is when the browser knows the width of your body, then it will know how to place the content of your body. I hope it makes sense. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay, then that's good. We are on. So currently we've come far. You should be very happy with yourself. You've done an amazing job. Give yourself 2 thumbs, 2 thumbs, 2 thumbs. You've done an amazing job. To get to this level, you've done well. You've done well. Good. Good. Okay, so what else can we do then? Let me go back into our code. I want to remove what we have here. I want us to remove this, okay, so that we have a clean web page. So now we know that this is our web page. Now, we want to create a navigation. So we want to remove this nav links over here and bring it to the top, okay? We want to remove the nav links here and bring it to the top. So how are we going to go by it? Let's start. We can do that by, first of all, removing it from the section. Then we will come into the body. Also, maybe we want it to be at the top layer. Let's just paste it there and see what we would have. By pasting it there, you see that all the styles go away. Do you observe it? All the styles we have applied is lost. It is lost, but but if you check the styles again, you still see that we've applied them. Is it not here? So why is it not applying? Who can tell me? You can unmute yourself and tell me, why is it still not applying? Why do you think it is not applying?
So
Because
it's out of the section.
Very good, because here we were very specific that we are targeting on ordered list element that is within the section. But since it is now out of the section, so all we need to do is to delete this. Now, if we delete this and we come back to it, the styles appear again. This is what we call descendant selectors specificity. This is all about it. Please, do we all understand it? Do we understand it?
Yeah, please, can you go over?
All we did was that because at first it was in section, we could not see it. But now we've removed the section because we moved this unordered list element to the top, outside the section. It's now at the top. And so now we need to also update our code that we are looking for any UL element with a list with an anchor like this, which is in the body. Then that one. So once you are writing like this, you are writing in the global section, it's in the body. Okay. Now we've learned semantic. Is Abigail here? Because I've not, I don't know. Is she gone? Okay. Are you with us, Abigail? So what we can do is, first of all, to put it in, we can call it maybe a header section. And in a header section, we can have a nav. Remember yesterday. So nav, sorry. And then place this in. Now we can come back here and say we are targeting what? A header with a nav in which there is a ULLIA. By doing this, if we go back and we check, we still have our stars at the top. Does it make sense? Does it make sense to everybody? Please, any question? Okay, then let's proceed. So looking at the way they are all stacked up together, okay, welcome back, Abigail. What we want to do is to make these lists horizontal. We want to make it what? Horizontal. So let's see how it's going to be like. Let me see. So for information, everything we are doing right now, it's not like I've prepared it. We are just going freestyle, okay? So don't be thinking like, oh, maybe this thing, there is a lot. No. We are just learning. It's all about our own creative style and approach, okay? So with this, we can say, let's see. I think there is display inline block. Let me just see. No, it's not taking effect. Okay, wait. So, block. Sorry, I just have to make a quick correction. Good. So we are dealing with here. So no, we are not dealing with a section anymore. We are dealing with this. Oh, so we are here, LI, and we can say display inline block with margin right 20. And now let's look at it. We have all of them horizontal. Remember something, I told you that. So I told you that there are elements, as I said yesterday, there are elements that are what? That are inline, and there are block level elements. Now, by default, when a list is a block level element. So that's why when you write, you make a list, you see that it flows vertically. Now we want the list to display in an inline format. So we use what? Inline block. And I'm saying that for each list, give it a margin right of what? 20. I could say give it a margin right of 50. And when we come back to, you see that now there is a space. There's some space in between. So between this and this, between this list and this list, there is a space of what? 50 pixels. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, Abigail. Your laptop is off. Sorry about that. Okay. So with that said, here we create, so currently we are building our own navigation. Maybe they look too big. So probably we could make some small change. Instead of the 120, I'll just remove the 120 and let's see how it is going to be like, so that it can be a bit smaller. You see it? Good. Now it is at the right, but I would love that it goes to the right. It's at the left. I would like that our nav goes to what? To the right. Now, what we are about to do now is about layouts. There are easy ways of doing layouts now, but now we are learning. So let's just wrap our minds around it a bit and we'll be fine, okay? So first of all, I'll go back. So we said this is the header. Let's have an H1 here. And this H1, I'm going to call it CSS flowers. That is our logo. So let's check how our website is looking like. So what I did was this. I think there's switching of screens sometimes. Good. So I added in the header section, the first element in the header section, I added this H1 CSS flowers. All right. And then I have my nav here. So this is what my header is. And then there is also our section whereby we have the information down here. Okay, good. So now I'm going back and this is what we see. We see what? CSS flowers, we see our navigation, and then we see our content. Okay, now I would like to shift this to the right and shift the CSS flowers to the left. What we normally do, now we are in layouts. We are in the next section is layout. So we are in layout. Layout in CSS. Now in CSS, we can lay out HTML documents, okay, using one, the display property, which you've seen, which is display block or inline block, or we could also use floats, clear. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. So I'm making notes. Layout in CSS. So we can lay out the HTML document using the display property. And we can have display, block, inline. We can use also floats. Okay. So in floating, we can float left or right. We could then underneath, we will use clear both. We could also use positional elements, and we have relative, absolute, and fixed, and we'll be talking about them maybe as time permits. We'll try to cover all these things. In fact, there is a lot to cover. So there is more to cover. So then there is the new CSS layout techniques. And now we use what? The flex box and the grid. Flex box and grid. Okay, flex box and grid. That's what we do. So for now, we've done display. We are going to focus on what? The float. The float. That is what we are going to focus on. All right. Now let's come here. H1 is in the header section. So I could say header H1, and I'll say float left. And the nav is also in the header section. So I could say header nav float right. By doing this, if I go back, you see that what? They are floated on the left and on the right. But you see, funny enough, it is trying to fit itself inside a section. So there are techniques. So back in the day that we didn't have Flexbox, we had to fidget a lot. So there are techniques that we use to ensure that they operate right. So we can say that header, and then we will say clear both. Let me see whether it works. Oh, it doesn't even work. Yeah. So hold on. Let me see. I think there's normally there used to be hacks that we use to clear both sides. So if it's not working, I wouldn't like us that we waste even much time here. Yeah, because if you go and check, you see it's messing the whole structure up. Normally, what will happen, what we normally do is that we would rather create, so over here, underneath the header section is what? The section, right? So we could, let me see if we can do that here. So section, and then we'll do clear both. And by doing that, you see that it restores everything back to normal. So meaning that this section is clearing the floats that these guys have introduced onto the page. So all that we did, I'm going to go over again. All that we did is this. First of all, in my HTML, okay, I created a header section. And in the header section, I have my H1 and my nav elements. Now, these are two main elements in my H1, in my header section. Good. Now, I wanted one to be at the left and one to be at the right. So in doing so, I had to set my H1 in the header section to the left, and the nav element in the header section to the right. Now, by doing it, you will see that the page layout will mess up. So the third element, the element that actually sits beneath these two floating images, which is what? Floating element, which is what? The section, is what you apply what we call clear both. And by doing that, just by doing that, you have this web page created. Are we good? Are we okay? If you are okay, please give me some thumbs up. The chat is so silent. I don't know whether you guys are following me or not. I'm also a bit lost when you guys are not communicating. So let me know whether you guys are following. All right, good. So by doing this, we have achieved our first web page that has 3 navigating buttons, okay? A logo, a text logo, and then we have what? Our text embedded in there. All right, okay. Are we good? Is it okay for a break? If it's okay for a break, can I get a thumbs up or we continue? Okay, all right. So what we are going to do is this. I'm going to give you a short assignment. The assignment is simple. For these 3 pages, create 3 different web pages that look just like this and connect. So when I click on about, it should take me to an about. When you click on services, it should take me to services. That is the assignment I've given you now. Let's meet back. It's now almost 3:40. Let's meet back at 4 o'clock. So by 4 o'clock, you should have had 3 pages, and each of the links must be working. We did that yesterday. Each of the links, man, they must all be looking. So your page layout should be looking the same for all the pages. All right, okay, good. So I would drop in back after 4 o'clock. Once it's 4, I'll join you again. Okay, thank you.